Greetings everyone, my name is Drew Bagby. I'm a librarian at Front Range Community College, Larimer campus, Harmony Library, and today I'd like to show you quickly how to utilize the new feature on Ebsco Discovery Search layer known as the Natural Language Search. I'm going to start here, which is the Harmony Library Larimer campus library website or LibGuide. I will note that right now I believe the Larimer campus, or at least our Discovery Search layer, is the only one across the campuses in the system that has this feature turned on. So if you go through any of the other library websites or LibGuides to access the EDS Natural Search, you might have a little bit of an issue. But from here, I'm just going to do a traditional Boolean logic search. And let's see, I've already got some things up here. Let's go with artificial intelligence or AI. Very broad subject. Once it loads, we'll see this. And some of you, or if not most of you, are familiar with the returns page in the Ebsco Discovery layer, and this is what it will look like. As you can see, we've got a ridiculous amount of results, over 7 million hits for our very basic keyword search of artificial intelligence or AI. But, that's not really telling us anything. Like I said, very basic search. There's really no question we're trying to answer yet, but we can just kind of scroll down and see what's coming back. We've got ebooks, artificial intelligence for security, whatever it is you might be trying to figure out about artificial intelligence or whatever topic you're looking for. This is what your typical results page will look like. I'm actually going to go ahead and add and higher education, put our quotation marks, and let's add another term, and uses. So we've got a search string now, and I'm trying to figure out, and this is a very broad keyword search here, but artificial intelligence or AI and how it might be how it is being used in higher education. Let's just go ahead and run this search again and see the difference. So we lost almost 5 million, 4.5 million results. Still have a lot of results, but we should start seeing our terms kind of highlighted in the returns here, just like usual, right? Well, now you'll notice this feature, Natural Language Search. If you hit this toggle button here, turn it on, you're going to see it's going to update your results. But this isn't the greatest search for natural language, right? Because we don't talk like this. We don't talk to our friends and say artificial intelligence or AI and higher education and uses and expect them to answer that by providing information based on that search string. The beauty of natural language is that we can prompt the EDS just like we would our friends or our instructors or our tutors or whoever it might be that you are trying to get information from. And so let's say, what are the main uses of AI technology in higher education? You can make a statement, you can write a question. It doesn't have to be this exact format. It could be however you speak naturally, and that's what you can type in here. And once I click on my little magnifying glass again, it's going to run the search, this time properly, because it's doing an actual natural language search based on our prompt. So we did increase our results here, and we still have an outrageous amount of returns. And we can scroll down though and start seeing artificial intelligence and university students. Let's see what that abstract says. You can read through the abstract pretty quickly and tell that this is kind of what I was looking for. If you've ever read an abstract, educators and policymakers are encouraged to focus on scalable AI tools while ensuring that human values remain central to learning. Yeah, that is an outcome that I want to read about, and it relates back to my question, exactly how are we using it? And then I can go further in and see if there's ways or things to discuss about the actual uses and how I might mitigate any issues or harm that we perceive AI to be doing. And implementation of artificial intelligence in educational processes of university teachers. So far, all of these articles that have come back have been peer-reviewed, and they do seem to focus a little bit more on my search topic. But the last thing I want to point out about the natural language search is obviously you can click on this link to figure out how it's actually doing the search. But as a librarian, what I really appreciate about this new tool is the Show Refined Query. If you click on this, it's showing you exactly how the database, or in this instance the EDS, processed your prompt, turned it into the traditional searching method, or the Boolean logic that we use as librarians and that we teach to the students, and it shows you the exact search string that it used. So it's not perfect. I'm going to tell you right up front, there are a few things about this search string that I notice are not great. For example, like phrases like artificial intelligence or machine learning, higher education. Basically any word that's a phrase, or any phrase does not have quotation marks around it. So that instantly is something I notice. But you can take a look at this search string and kind of figure out what are some synonyms for my search terms. What is a way that I could encapsulate all forms of higher education? So for example, higher education, or university, or college. And application, or use, or implementation are just other ways to say use. And I might have missed out on some other articles or other sources of information not having those particular synonyms involved in my search string, and that's why we saw an increase in our results using the natural language search. You could actually copy and paste this if you want, and we can go back to our search here, and again, it's not completely perfect. It doesn't have quotation marks around phrases, but it will still do a decent job of bringing back returns, and you can kind of see, again, not exactly the same, but very close to the same amount of results here. And we'll scroll down, and we're getting different returns at the top, but again, just another avenue of maybe doing your research. Whatever it is that makes you feel confident and not overwhelmed when doing your research, that's what I advise to use. And so the natural language feature could be useful for some students that are, having a hard time grasping traditional search strings and creating search strings or thinking of synonyms. And you can just prompt it like you would in a class or in conversation, and it's a really useful tool. So that's the basic introduction to the new natural language search via the Ebsco Discovery search layer. Thanks for listening.